This is Martin Shervington, and in this video I'm going to show you just about everything you need to know about Google Drive. To understand the real benefits of Google Drive, we're going to look at four areas. The first is how Google Drive acts as cloud storage. The second, how it allows you to create documents, including spreadsheets, forms, presentations, within that online environment. The third is how it enables collaboration, so people can work together on particular projects. And the fourth is about communication. To begin, you'll want to access Drive. Now, if you search for Google Drive in Google Search, it's likely you're going to be able to access it straight from the search results. But if you've set up your Google Plus account, and if you have Gmail, you'll find the same there, then on the top you can come to Drive and click, and that will take you directly into Google Drive. Looking at the first element, the cloud storage, if you go to Upload and click, you'll be able to find either files or folders that are on your computer, and you can upload those into the cloud. Once you have content in Drive, if you click next to My Drive, you'll see folders that you have that are stored. A little further down, you'll see files or folders that are shared with you, which ones are starred, and your recent activity. Looking now at the upper left, if you click the drop down for Sort, you can then choose one of the options. You can view and change view by switching between Grid and List. And the grid view can be a very attractive way of, for instance, displaying your images. If you look at Settings, which is indicated by the cog, and you click, you can change the way things are displayed, and you have other options there when you get used to them. Because you're using the cloud to store your files and your folders, you'll want easy access. There's a search box on Google Drive that will allow you to do just that. If you put in keywords and then click Search, it will bring up the files related to those keywords. If you click on the drop down for advanced search options, you can also search by type, and using the example of PDF files, if you click that, it will then bring up all of the PDF files, and you could then search a little deeper by adding a keyword and then pressing Search to refine it. Within the advanced options, you also have the ability to filter by visibility and by ownership. Staying with the element of the cloud storage for a little longer, if you click on New Folder, that will add a new folder to Drive. And from there, you could click and drag a file into that folder, organizing your own drive. Simply by clicking on that folder, you'll be taken into that folder where you can see your files. If you want to remove a file from a folder, you can drag it to your drive and that will remove it. From the main screen in Google Drive, if you check a folder or a file, you'll see options appear. If you want to move a folder or a file, you click Move To, and you then have the options of which folders to move them to. If you select multiple folders or files and then choose Move To, you'll have the same option. And if you click to select all, you can move all that are in Drive, or this principle will apply when you are in a folder itself, and you can select all of the contents from that folder and then move them to another folder. If you select a folder or a file and you hover over the bin, you can click to remove. Once you've removed, you'll find that that item appears in Trash. If you click on the drop down next to More, you'll have many options, including the ability to change the color of that particular folder. You can also add stars, or you could do this directly next to the file. And you can share. Share is something that we'll be discussing when we reach the collaboration and the communication point of this tool of Google Drive. If you want to open a file at any time, you just click to open, or you can go to the drop down and look Open With and then choose an application. If I want to preview, I can select a file, in this case a presentation, and click on Preview, which will bring it up into a lightbox. The same principle applies in Grid View. If you select several images by checking the box in the upper left and then click Preview, it will bring them up into the lightbox. You can then navigate using the arrow to the right to move right and the arrow to the left to move backward. Once you choose a selection of files, you can click and drag them across into a folder. Moving now to the second element of Google Drive, called Creation. To create, you press the button Create, and you have a choice to create a folder, a document, a presentation, spreadsheet, form, or a drawing. You also have the option to connect more apps. Choosing the example of a document will appear, and the first thing I can do is click to set the title. Once I click OK, I've then created that document. If you click File in any of the documents, you won't see an option to save. The reason being is with Google Drive, everything is saved automatically. Also, I should point out that if you look at Download As, you'll see the options that you can download this file to your computer. This is a way of taking the content out of Drive back onto your computer. Now we're going to move on to our third element, the element of collaboration. This is one of the greatest aspects of Google Drive. No longer do you have to pass by email files back and forth between individuals. You can all work on them together from within the Drive environment. Not only can you keep track of changes and comments, you'll also be able to translate the document into, well, whatever language you choose. To enable collaboration on any document, if you go to Share and you click, you'll see who has access to that document currently. The first way to have people collaborate with you is to enter a name, email address, or a group, and then choose whether they can edit, or comment, or just view. And if you want them to collaborate in an editing fashion, then choose Edit, and then add a message if you want to explain what the project is that you're including them in. Once you've chosen the people, you can decide whether to send a copy of the message to yourself and whether the item is to be pasted within the email. And when you're set, just click Share and Save. This way of collaborating is private. There are, however, other options. If you click on Change, you'll see that you could, if you wanted to, have this document available publicly on the web. Or you could decide to go for anyone with the link and then change the options from Can View, Can Comment to, again, as the example, Can Edit. So anyone that receives the link will then be able to edit and collaborate within that document. Once I'm ready, I'll click Save. This is now where collaboration, the third element, and the fourth element of communication start to work together. If, for instance, you have a circle set up on Google Plus of a team of people that you'd like to have access to that document so that they could edit or view or just comment, click on the Google Plus icon and that link will be brought into the share box. From there, you can decide with whom to share it. If you wanted to share it publicly, then anybody with that link is going to be able to either edit or view or comment, depending on the setting that you had earlier. If you only want, for instance, a small group of people that you've set up as a circle to be able to edit, in this case, then you would choose them. You would then put in a message and a comment at the top, and then you can decide whether to send them an email to notify them by email that you're looking to collaborate, and when you're ready, click share. One of the really cool things about collaboration using Google Drive is how the individuals will appear as icons in this section. You will also be able to see them actively editing during the process of collaborating. Staying with the element of collaboration just a little longer, looking now at Google Hangouts, if you bring in the Google Drive app, which you'll either find already on the sidebar, or if you hover over the 3 small dots, you'll find it in the list. And once you've clicked, you'll be able to see your Google Drive documents and the files are then brought into the Google Hangout. Now, this will enable the individuals that you bring into the Google Hangout to collaborate with you as if you're in the same room working on the same document, which is pretty incredible. Let's now move to the fourth element. And the fourth element is communication. Anytime you see the icon of a little man with a plus sign, you're going to be able to share that file. And that will appear in the More drop down, as well as if you right click next to a file and see it next to share. Also, when a folder has been shared, you'll see the icon appear within that grey section of the folder. Once I've clicked on share, having chosen a file, it will bring up the box when we're talking about collaboration. The difference now with communication is how you can share your content to other social networks and to anyone who has the link or publicly on the web, but this time you're not looking for them to collaborate, so you won't want them to comment or to be able to edit, only to be able to view. If you click on the Facebook or Twitter icons, it will bring up the file into any connected account and you can send it. If you click on the Gmail icon, it will send it as an email to the recipients that you choose. And if you click on the Google Plus icon, which is probably the most interesting one to explore, because we used a presentation, that presentation becomes embedded within the message. And once it's sent to the individuals, and it could be public, it could be your circles, or it could be specific individuals, when they receive it, they'll be able to click the presentation, or if it's a Google form, or a spreadsheet, or a document, or drawing, and they'll be able to view that document directly from the Google Plus post. Once you've added your comment and decided upon your audience, in this case public, you click share. The same principle will apply to images. If you click on an image within Google Drive and then you click share, it will bring up the familiar box. From there, you'll decide on the audience, and here we have anyone with the link, and then click save. Then you choose the social network, and choose Google Plus, and that will embed that image straight into a Google Plus post, and you can then choose the audience. And this time, I might well send it just to a community, and I can do that straight from Google Drive, and once I've chosen a category, I can then send it. There's another really useful aspect to the element of communication using Google Drive. If you look at a file and go to the tab file and click before going to publish to the web, you'll be given the option to publish that file to the web. Click Start Publishing to do so. Once you've clicked OK, you'll then see you could, for instance, embed the code of that particular file into a website. You can also choose the size of presentation that will appear, even customizing it for your own site, and how the presentation will be displayed. For instance, changing slides every 3 seconds or from the options within that menu. If for any reason you want to stop publishing, you can return to the same file, and once you've selected the Publish to the Web option, you click Stop Publishing. That was a complete introduction to Google Drive and the 4 elements of cloud, which is storage, of creation, of collaboration, and of communication. This is Martin Shervington. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for a lot more handy hints, tips and tricks.